Hello and welcome back to Ganesh Institute. In this video, we are going to cover whole half yearly syllabus, that is from chapter number 1 till 8, half of the book of class 8 maths. Okay. I have chosen some important points and important concepts and questions related with them. So let's begin without wasting any further time. First of all, you should know about some of the terminologies, like because chapter's name is rational numbers, so you should know what is a rational number. Let's start with the natural number. The numbers which start from 1 are natural, and these numbers start from 1 and go till infinite. Okay, these are countless, whereas whole numbers start from 0. Okay, so if I ask you, or question may be asked, that every whole number is a natural number. Every whole means you are counting 0 as well. So 0 is not a natural number, so this statement is false. Whereas if question would be asked, all natural numbers are zeros. So natural numbers, what are these? They start from 1, right? So 1 is of course a whole number. Then 2, 3, 4, all these are counted in whole numbers. So yes, we can say every natural number without any exception is a whole number. Now let's come to rational numbers. These are in the form of p by q, where denominator is not equal to 0, and p and q don't have anything common except 1. So let's say I have 2 by 4. You have to simplify this term. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. So you get 1 by 2. Now nothing is common except 1. So 1 by 2 is in the form of p by q, and we can say this is a rational number. There are some properties of rational number which you should know, and these are in different operations. These are applied in different operations. For example, if we talk about addition of rational numbers, okay, let's say I'm adding 1 by 2 and 1 by 3. So LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. Now you have to divide 6 by 2. 2 3s are 6. Whatever quotient is there, so 3 is there, right? You have to multiply it with numerator. So 3 ones are 3. Then if you divide 3 and 6, you get 2. So 2 ones are 2. You get 5 by 6. Okay. Now, if you are doing addition, the answer is also a rational number. Addition of two rational numbers is giving you a rational number only. So this is called closure property. So closure property is nothing but when you take an operation between two numbers, the type of numbers, whatever type they are having, the result is also of the same type. So if you are adding two rational numbers, if you are subtracting two numbers, if you are dividing two numbers, so what will happen here? This will be in in reciprocal form, so you will get 3 by 2. When you subtract, 3 2s are 6, and then you do cross, 3 1s are 3 minus 2, 1 by 6. So you will see the result is always a rational number. So that's why rational number holds closure property. If we talk about commutativity, it means order doesn't matter as far as addition and multiplication of rational numbers is concerned. So what does it mean? Let's say I'm adding 2 and 3. We get 5. And if I change the order, 3 plus 2, it is also 5. So result is same. So addition is commutative, multiplication is also commutative. How? If you multiply 2 times 3, it is 6, and 3 times 2 is also 6. So commutative. But can you say 1 by 2, this is half, and reciprocal of it is 2 by 1, that is 2. These are not equal, right? Similarly, 1 minus 2 is minus 1, and 2 minus 1 is 1. These are also not equal. So subtraction and division, these are not commutative. Okay. When we say associative, that means if you have three numbers and you change the order of processing their addition, that is same. For example, if you do 2 plus 3 plus 6, if you add 2 and 3 first, and then 3 and 6 result is same, right? So this is associative, and again only addition and multiplication are associative in nature. Division and subtractions are not. Now distributivity, what is it? Let's say if you have here 24 into 30, so you can do the simple multiplication, like you can write it 30 minus 6 into 30. Now you can distribute. How? 30 multiply 30 minus 6 multiply 30. So 900 minus 6 3s are 18, 180. This is 10 minus 8, 2, 8 minus 1, 7, right? And also if you multiply 24 with 3, you will get 72 and with 0. So answer will remain same. This is called distribution. That means you distribute the sign along with these terms. Okay? Now when we talk about additive inverse. So additive inverse means when you take a number, let's say plus 2, okay, what you should be adding so as to get 0. So it is of course minus 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. If you have minus 3, what you should be adding to get 0? Plus 3. So additive inverse of minus 3 is plus 3. Additive inverse of plus 2 is minus 2. That means you have to simply change the sign of those numbers in order to get the additive inverse. Okay. Now when we say multiplicative inverse, that means two numbers are the multiplicative inverse of each other if their multiplication is 1. If I have A, for example, so what you have to multiply with it so that you can get 1? Obviously 1 by A, then only you will get 1, right? A gets cancelled with A. So this is how you get multiplicative inverse. So if a question is asked, what is the multiplicative inverse of 2 by 3? It will be 3 by 2, because by multiplying these two, you will get 1. Okay, I'm hoping that properties are very clear to you. Let's move on to next topic. Here, because this whole slide is only based on the current syllabus, that is deleted portion have not been covered. So we are here in chapter number 2, linear equations in one variable. What is a linear equation? Before understanding that, before even going through equation, we should know what is an expression. Let's say I'm writing here x square plus 3x, or x plus 3, or y minus 4. These all are expressions. The relation, you can say just the operation between constant and variables. But when you equate them with some number, then it becomes an equation. And when the highest power, that is the degree of the expression, is 1, then we say that okay, it is a linear equation. For example, the power of x is 2 here and power of x is 1. So highest power is 2, it is not a linear equation. Here power of x is 1, we don't consider the power of constant, so it is a linear equation. It is also a linear equation. Okay. Now we have in our syllabus, some of the topics have been have been cut down. Now what is left is solving equations having variable on both sides. So when, let's say this is the example given to you, you have to solve it. So keep in mind this point, that whatever variable is given to you, you have to keep it on one side. Keep all the terms having variable on one side and take constants to other. Okay, and try to make your variable positive. So what I'm doing, I'm keeping this 2x here, and I'm considering x and I'm taking it on the left hand side. So because it is plus x on right hand side, it will become minus, because we consider transpose. Plus becomes minus when change side, minus becomes plus, multiply becomes divide, and divide becomes multiply. Okay. So what happens? Minus x, this will become minus x, and here 2 is already on the right hand side, we will take this 3, we'll break it on the right hand side, so it will become plus 3. From minus 3 it will change into plus 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. Now operate the coefficients. So coefficient of x square is 3 here, coefficient of x is 1 here, okay, coefficient of x is 3 here. So coefficient means the constant term or the term which is attached with the number or the variable which is asked in the question, and it can be in operation of multiplication or division. Let's say I have 1 by 2x, so the coefficient of x is half here, okay, only multiplication and division is counted. Okay, so 2 minus 1 is 1, so 1x, x becomes 5, okay. We have some more questions here where you have to find out x. So as I told you, you have to bring all the like terms all together on the one side. So 5x, this is plus 3 by 2x, so it will become minus 3 by 2x. Here it is minus 14 already on right hand side, so I'll bring this 7 by 2 in minus form here. Now take LCM, so 2 ones are 2. Now do cross multiplication, 5 twos are 10, minus 3 ones are 3. Here also 2 ones are 2 in denominator, cross multiply, 14 twos are 28, minus 7 ones are 7. 10 minus 3 is 7x by 2. This is minus minus plus, 28 and 7, 35 by 2. Make sure that we know that minus minus is plus, so 7 and 3, 10. But whichever number, the magnitude is greater, you have to pick up that sign. So 7 is greater and sign is minus with it, so we will put minus, okay. Whereas if you do minus 3 plus 7, plus minus is minus, so 7 minus 3 is 4, but which one is greater? 7 is greater and it has plus sign with it, so plus 4. Whereas if you see plus 3 minus 7, plus minus is minus, so 7 minus 3 is 4, but 7 is greater, it has negative sign in front of it, so minus 4. Now 7x is here, minus 35 by 2. This 2 is in division form, right? So it will go on to the right hand side and becomes in multiplication. 2 gets cancelled with 2. X is here and 7 is in multiplication with it, so it will go in division. 7 5s are 35, you get x is equals to minus 5. Now here you have to apply distributive law, distributive property. So sometimes question may be asked which property you have used in it to solve that particular question. So here 8x plus 4. Now multiply 3x minus 3 ones are 3. So see, 3 is multiplied with it and then with 1. And this is plus 7. So 8x plus 4, 3x. Now plus minus is minus. 7 minus 3 is 4 because 7 is greater, so plus sign will be here. Now what? Separate the variables. Keep the like terms on one side. So 8x minus 3x, this is in plus, so it will go onto the left hand side with a negative sign. 4 is already here. 4 will come to the right hand side and becomes in negative. So this is 0. 8 minus 3 is 5x. X becomes 0 by 5, that is 0. I'm hoping that you have understood this concept. Let's move on to the next. Here the next concept is reducing equations to simpler form. So here you can see there are so many complex situations given. Now you have to create a normal equation out of it and then solve. So how we can do it? First of all, see, there are two methods of doing it. If you want, you can keep all those numbers which have denominator in it all together. So you can see 6 plus 1 by 3. This is plus sign, right? So it will come on to the left hand side with minus. Don't change this whole thing, the sign of a whole thing. It will come here minus. Don't change this. Keep it in bracket. And this 1 will go on to the right hand side, will become minus 1. Now take LCM. 3 and 6 is 6. You have to make it as 6, right? So if you have to multiply it with 2. Multiply this also with 2. Now expand this minus. Minus x minus minus plus 3, right? Now distribute 6 2s are 12x, 2 1s are 2, minus x plus 3 by 6. Then like terms, 12 minus 1, 11x, 2 plus 3, 5. This 6 will go to the right hand side, minus 1 into 6, it will become minus 6. This 5 will go on to the right hand side, will become minus 5, minus minus plus, and 6 is greater, so minus sign will be there in the answer. And when this 11, which is in multiplication, go into division, it gets cancelled, so we get x as minus 1. Okay, now here you have 5x minus, distribute 2 2s are 4x, minus minus plus 7 2s are 14, 2 3s are 6x, minus 2 1s are 2, plus 7 by 2. Okay, now 5 minus 4 is 1x plus 14, 6x. Now take LCM of these like terms. So 2 2s are 4, 7 1s are 7. This is minus, right? Correct? I can write it because minus is with only 2, not with 7. So I'm putting here a separate minus. So x plus 14 is 6x, 7 minus 4 is 3 by 2. Now consider this 6 and take it onto the left hand side. 3 by 2 minus 14. So 6 minus 1 is 5 because 6 is greater, so minus 5x. Multiply the denominator, 2 1s are 2, 14 2s are 28. This becomes 25 by 2, correct? Minus gets cancelled with minus, and if you take, let me do it here, x becomes 25 by 2 and 5 will go in division because 5 is in multiplication with x. 5 5s are 25. So x we got as 5 by 2, right? Let's move on to next topic. Here also some more examples, you have to solve it. So I have one here, take LCM, 2 1s are 2, cross multiply 2m minus, now see this minus is with whole numerator, so minus m minus minus plus 1, okay? Now again cross multiplication, 3 1s are 3, this minus is again with both of them, so minus m minus minus plus 2, right? Now do cross multiplication of these 3, 2m minus m is m, here 3 plus 2 is 5, and you multiply this with 2. Now distribute 3m plus 3 1s are 3, 2 5s are 10 minus 2m. Consider all the like terms together. So 3m is already here. You can bring this 2m onto the left hand side. It will become plus 10 minus 3. So 5m is 7. M becomes 7 by 5. Okay. If question is in mixed fraction, then you have to leave the answer in mixed fraction. See the form of question and leave the answer in that form. Let's try with some decimal questions also. So again, because bracket is there, so you have to distribute this 0.25 to all over the question, the part. So it becomes 0.25 multiply 4f, then minus 0.25 multiply 3, here 0.05 multiply 10f, minus 0.05 multiply 9. 25 4s is 100, and you have to place this decimal before 2 digits, so 1, so it becomes only 1f, then 25 3s are 75, so 0.75. Then here if you see 0.05 into 10, that means if you remove this decimal, 2 digits are here, so you will place 2 zeros in denominator, 1 zero gets cancelled with 1, so you've got 0.5, right? 0.5 f minus 9 5s are 45.45, right? Correct? Now bring this 0.5 onto the left hand side. and here minus 0.45 is already here 0.75. So 1 minus half is half, and 75 minus 45 is 0.030. So f is 0.30 divided by 0.5, because this is in multiplication. Point, if you remove, you get in opposite, that is numerator. In denominator you have decimal, you will place 0 in numerator form, then here 2 digits, so you will place 100. 0 gets cancelled with 0, 5 2s are 10, 3 2s are 6, so 6 by 10, that is 0.6. Clear? This is how you solve these questions. Not to worry, just simply go with the flow, do distribution if brackets are given to you, apply BODMAS, that is very important. Sometimes all the operations are given to you, which one to follow first. So division, bracket, if there is off part, just like we say half of 3, that means half multiply 3. So if there is off part, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, this order goes like this. Okay, let's move on to the next point. We have chapter number 3 here, understanding quadrilaterals. What is a quadrilateral? Having a polygon made up of 4 line segments. Okay, and it has so many types of quadrilaterals, like we have parallelogram, we have rhombus, we have square, rectangle, trapezium, kite. So all these we will be studying about their properties and the questions based on them. First of all, what if you see any polygon which we are having, we have, if we have 4 sides, that means 4 angles will be there. Also exterior angles will be given there, right? So all the exterior angles, be it of any shape, the sum of all the exterior angles is always 360 degree. Of any polygon, be it triangle, the sum of all the exterior angles is always 360 degree. So here is the question given to you. It is a regular hexagon. Okay, question has given it. Regular. A regular polygon means all the sides are equal, all the angles are equal. That means these are equilateral. Lateral means sides. Equisides, equilateral, and equiangular, that means equal angles. So this is a regular hexagon. If it is a regular hexagon, all sides will be equal and all angles are equal. That's why all the angles are given as A. We have to find out what is the sum of exterior angles X, Y, Z, P, Q, R. Be it as many angles as question can give us, but the point is the sum of all the exterior angles is always 360. So we are done with this part. We are done with this part. Next, is X is equals to Y is equals to Z is equals to, that means all the exterior angles are equal or not? See, if let's say you are given with angle A as 60 degree, for example. So what will be Q? It is a straight line, right? And straight line forms a linear angle, linear pair. If it is A, it is P. So, and if you are assuming it as 60 degree, it will be 120 because sum is 180. So that means all the interior angles will be equal and all the exterior angles are equal. So yes, this is true because it is this part is true because it is a regular hexagon. Now we have to find out what is the exterior angle and what is the interior angle. Remember, for any polygon, that means a figure which is made up of, a closed figure which is made up of line segments, the sum of interior angle is what? N minus 2 into 180. Okay. Now this is a hexagon having 6 figures, 6 line segments, sorry. So 6 is the number of sides. 6 minus 2 into 180. So 4 into 180, that is 720 degree. So all the angles, that is, let me change the color of the pen. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6A will be 720. So A is 720 by 6, that is 6 ones are 6, 6 2s are 12, You have to divide it and then 0. Clear? Clear? What is it? This is A is interior angle, so we have got interior angle. Now we have to find out exterior angle. So see, this one is forming a linear pair, A and Q. If I've got A, what is Q? 120 plus Q is 180, linear pair. You have to write linear pair, otherwise your marks will be deducted. So what is Q now? 180 minus 120, that is 60 degree. And because all the exterior angles are equal, it is a regular hexagon, regular figure. So therefore, all the exterior angles are equal to 60 degree. Clear? Moving on to the next part. Now you have to find out the number of sides of a regular polygon. That means we don't know whether it is a 6-sided figure, that is hexagon, or 5-sided figure, pentagon, or 3-sided figure, triangle, or 7-sided figure, heptagon. But it is asking to find out the number of sides when exterior angle is given. So if exterior angle is given, so the formula becomes 360 degree, because the sum of all the exterior angle is 360. And if you divide it with one exterior angle, it will give you number of sides, or we can say number of exterior angle. Okay. So how much it becomes? 360 by 45 degree. 9 5s are 9 4s are 36. 5 8s are 40. That means this is an octagon, 8-sided figure, right? Then another type of question which can be asked based on this same concept, we have to find out the measure of each exterior angle. That means this part. And sides are given to us now. So n is given 9. We just found out that formula is 360 by each exterior angle, correct? So if you take this each exterior angle onto the left hand side, n comes to denominator and becomes denominator. So 360 by 9, that is 40. 40 degree is the measure of each exterior angle. Clear? This is how you can solve these questions. Types of quadrilaterals. I have attached one screenshot from your NCERT only, that what are the properties of trapezium. Let me tell you quickly that trapezium is a figure where one pair of sides is parallel, okay, and another pair is non-parallel. Kite. Kite is such a figure where one pair of side is equal, then another pair is equal to each other. Okay, if you see rhombus, right, in rhombus all the sides are equal, whereas in kite only one pair of adjacent side and another pair, these will be distinct and will be equal. Okay, so if it is 5, this will be 5, this is 10, then this will be 10. Okay, if we talk about parallelogram, in parallelogram opposite sides are equal and parallel, opposite angles are equal and parallel, opposite angles are equal, and diagonals, they bisect each other. That means this portion will be equal to this and this portion will be equal to this. Okay, if we talk about square, so square has all the sides equal, their diagonals are also equal, and diagonals bisect each other at 90. All the angles, vertex angles, are also 90. Here in rhombus, diagonals bisect each other at 90. And in rectangle, opposite sides are equal, each vertex angle is 90, diagonals are equal and bisect each other. Okay. Now if we apply all these properties and solve the questions which can be asked in the form of find x, y, z, let's say this is a question. Best is a parallelogram. Where is it? Yes, here. Best is a parallelogram and we have to find the value of x, y and z. So if these this question is saying it is a parallelogram. Just use all those properties to find x, y, and z. And always start from the known figure, known value. So this is 100. This is only the known thing in this figure, in this whole figure, right? Now this 100, okay. Opposite angles are equal for a parallelogram, right? So x will be 100 degree. Why? Opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. So we have found out one thing, which is x. Now next y. Okay, tell me one thing. If you remember the concept of previous classes, if two lines are parallel and one is transversal, can we say that angles on the same side of transversal are having sum as 180 degree? So if it is, these two lines are parallel and this is the transversal, so sum of these two angles will be 180 degree. What is the reason? Angles on the same side of transversal having sum as 180 degree, correct? Now, so this z becomes 180 minus 100, that is 80 degree, right? Fair enough. Now when we've got z, what's the big deal in y? Because it is forming a straight line and hence linear pair, correct? So y plus z, that is 80 degrees, 180 degree, and the reason being linear pair. So y becomes 180 minus 80, that is 100. So we've found out all these points, right? If we were supposed to, let's say question would have asked find angle T. So angle T would be 80 degree, opposite angles, right? I'm hoping that you are getting all the concepts straight in your mind. Now next question is, in a parallelogram ring, here it is. Angle R is given to us as 70 degree. We have to find all other angles. So not a big deal. I think you should try it on your own. But let me give you a hint. This is 70. So this will be also 70. Why? Because opposite angles are equal. Now this angle and this angle, these should be forming what? The sum should be 180, angle on the same side of transversal. So this will become 110, and if it is 110, it will be 110. Now moving on to the next question. Help is a parallelogram. Here it is given. Lengths are in centimeters. We are given as OE. It is 4. HL is 5 more than P. And what is P? P we don't know. But we have to find out OH, this one. Now if it is a parallelogram and the parts of diagonals are given. Do you remember I told you that parallelogram diagonals bisect each other? Bisect means this part will be equal to this and this will be equal to this. So if it OE is 4, then OP is 4. So OP is what? 8, correct? This is not OP. So P is what? 4 and 4, 8. So we can write 8. So this becomes 13. HL becomes 13. And OH is what? OH is equals to OL. That means whole HL will be divided into 2 equal parts. So 13 by 2, that is 6.5. Correct? Now if we talk about next question, which is the adjacent figure Hope here is a parallelogram again. Then we have to find out x, y, and z and state the properties. Question should not be like what are the properties used, because we always write properties and that is marks are dedicated to them. So I told you that the trick is always start with the known value. So it is given us as 40 degree. Now do you remember, if we have a pair of parallel lines and this is transversal, then the angles forming Z are equal. Why? Because these are alternate interior angles. So similarly, see here, this is forming Z, right? So Y will be 40 degree. Why? Alternate interior angles. Now y is 40 in this triangle. In triangle HOP, if you remember this property that if two interior angles are given, then these are equal to, the sum of opposite interior angles is equal to exterior one, right? So Z plus 40 is equal to 70. Sum of opposite interior angles is equal to exterior angle. Exterior angle property भी आप कह सकते हैं, equal to exterior angle. So Z becomes 70 minus 40, that is 30 degree, right? Now if Z is 30, I have to find out X now. If Z is 30, then alternate interior, this will become 30, and you can apply angle sum property, EHP, angle sum property of a triangle. What it says, that the sum of all the angles is 180. So X plus 30 plus 40 is 180. And this becomes 180 minus 70, that is 110. Correct? We've got all of them, right? This is how you solve these questions. Let's move on to the next part. So here also you have to apply all those properties. Let's start with trapezium first. So in trapezium, one pair is parallel, right? So I can see these are equidistant, so these are parallel. And if we are supposed to find out, let's say, find angle C, how will we find that? Because these lines are parallel, so interior, sum of the interior angles on the same side of transversal will be 180. So angle C will become 180 minus 120, that is 60 degree. Always write the property that angle on the same side of transversal, sum of the interior angles on the same side of transversal is 180. Okay? Now here, sides are asked, and this is the parallelogram given to us. These pictures, these screenshots have been taken from your NCERT only. So in parallelogram SNUG, we know opposite sides are parallel, right? This is the property of a parallelogram. So 3y minus 1 will be 26 and 3x is 18. Now don't you think these are linear equations in one variable which you have to solve, and you know how to solve them, right? And you have to write the reason also. Opposite sides of parallelogram are equal. Okay, parallelogram, this is the short form of it. So 3y becomes 26 plus 1, 27. Y becomes 27 by 3, that is 9. And here 18 by 3, that is 6. Okay, here which property you can write? Because the elements which are given to us are the parts of diagonal. So we know that diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So 16 is equals to x plus y, and y plus 7 is equals to 20. Why? Because diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So y becomes 20 minus 7, that is 13. And if you place y here as 13, x becomes 16 minus 13, that is 3. Clear? So this is the second part. This is the first part. Now question number 9. We have to find out the x. How can you find it? Tell me. You try it on your own. Don't tell me that why these two angles are not equal when it is a parallelogram. No. This whole KULR is a trapezium. Whereas if you see only KSR, see KSIR, this is one parallelogram, and EULI, no, EULC, this is another parallelogram. Okay, so if, let me draw it for you. If this is a parallelogram, so what will happen? I told you to ask always from the given value. This angle will be equal to this, Why? Opposite angles of the parallelogram are equal, right? So this is 70. If I want x, I should be requiring this. So if you see this parallelogram, angle on the same side of transversal 180, so this becomes 60, right? Because angle K plus S is 180, angle on the same side of transversal. So S becomes 180 minus 120, that is 60. So now I can apply, let me change the color of the pen. In this triangle, angle E plus S plus X becomes 180. So X is 180 minus angle E, which is 70. This is 60. 180 minus 130, that is 50. Okay, this is how you can solve these questions. Let's move on to the next concept. If, let's say, rhombus is given to you, this is the figure. How you'll find out the unknown values? Always remember, please, you might think that this is funny, but some students, they just get confused when it comes to sides and angles differentiation. Here side is given to you, please don't apply angles concept in it. Okay, now we have to find out z. I told you to always start from what? The given value. This is 13 given to you, this is z. All the sides of rhombus are equal, if it is a rhombus at all. So what will happen? Z will be equal to 13. Why? All sides of rhombus are equal. It is equilateral. Okay. Now we know that diagonals bisect each other. So x is equal to 5 and y will be equal to 12. Again, the property of a rectangle. I told you, right? OR is given, OT is given, but actually OR will be equal to ON and OT will be equal to OE. Why? Because diagonals of rectangle also bisect each other. Diagonals of square also bisect each other. So 3x plus 1 plus 3x plus 1. These two will be one diagonal, TE. Then 2x plus 4 plus 2x plus 4. This whole will be Rn. Diagonals of rectangle and square are equal as well. So this will be equal. So 3 and 3, 6x plus 2. 2 and 2, 4x plus 8. 6x minus 4x is equals to 8 minus 2. I will not tell you how to solve it because I just explain you how to solve linear equations when variables are given on both of the sides. 6 minus 4 is 2, 8 minus 2 is 6, x becomes 3. Okay, this is how you can find the values. Next, so these are just a recapitulation. When you are given with parallelogram, it has opposite sides parallel, opposite sides equal, opposite angles equal, and diagonals bisect each other. That means this is equal to this and OD is equal to OB. When it is a rhombus, all sides are equal, just like square. Okay, all the properties of parallelogram are there, and diagonals are perpendicular to each other. That means this and this, when bisect, meet at 90. Okay, then a rectangle, all the properties of parallelogram, all the angles are 90. All the vertex angle of square and rectangle are 90. And kite has diagonals are always perpendicular to each other. These are perpendicular and one of the diagonals bisect. Okay. So, and these two sides are equal. One pair of adjacent side and another pair of adjacent side. Okay. Next, we are here at chapter number 5, data handling. Chapter number 4 is deleted from CBSE syllabus, so I have not covered it. Now, in data handling, we have many forms, many methods to represent our data. Bar graph, histogram, pie chart, pictograph, right? All those. But what we are here for is specially pie chart. Pie chart is basically a circle, and you know the complete circle forms 360-degree angle. So just like we have marks, how much marks do you get or have you got out of 10? Let's say 3. This is very wrong. Let's say 9. 9 out of 10, right? So similarly in this portion, let's say you have a pizza in circular shape. So which you must be wondering that why I'm giving you this example. But if you want this slice of pizza, you definitely want to know how much I've got out of whole pizza, how much part I've got, right? So for that we have to know about this angle. So let's say x out of 360 degree, and the total values, how many people are there, you have to multiply here, total. Okay, so if I have to, this is the question given to you, number of students in a hostel, different languages they are speaking, we have to display the data in pie chart. So we have languages, we have number of students, we have Hindi, English, Marathi, Tamil, Bengali, and number of students are 40, 12, 9, 7, 4, and the total is 72. So I have to find out the degrees, the central part of each language. Hindi, 40 students out of 72, right? No Hindi. So you have to multiply it with 360 degree. Okay, just like we do in percentage. Then 12 for English out of 72, multiply 360 degree. Then 9 for Marathi out of 72 into 360 degree. Then 7 for Tamil by 72, 360 degree, and 4 by 72 for Bengali into 360 degree. How much have you got? You know, you can say 360 by 72, 18 4s are, 18 2s are, 4 5s are. So it will always give you here 5. Okay, now multiply. You get 40 into 5, that is 200, 12 5s are 60, 9 5s are 45, 7 5s are 35, and 4 5s are 20. These all are degrees. Now when you draw a circle of any radius, you have to make sure that for a reference you draw a diameter. Okay, now you know diameter is 180 degree. Put your D protector here and make angles. You can make 60 degree, then 45 degree. So when you make 60, it is easy, right? But when you make 45 degree, you have to consider this as your baseline, this 61, and place your D here and make 45. Okay, then you have to make 35 degree as considering 45 as your baseline, then 20 degree for example, and rest will be 200 because it will always give you complete angle, the sum of all these 360. Okay, so this is how you make a pie chart. Try it on your own. If you have doubt, you can ask me, comment in the comment box. Okay, now next concept is about probability, chance and probability. Probability means possibility, and the formula for probability of any event is favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. Okay, for example, let's say if you are throwing a die, So a die has sample space as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is the probability of getting 2? 2 is coming how many times? 1. How many are total? Sample space is 6, so 1 by 6. Probability of getting 5. 5 is also coming 1 time, so 1 by 6. Similarly, if you toss a coin, you get head or tail, either head or tail. So probability of getting a head is 1 time out of 2. Probability of getting a tail is 1 by 2. So those outcomes which have same probability are called equally likely outcomes. Here see, a bag has 4 red balls, 2 yellow balls. The ball are identical, just the color is different. One ball is drawn from the bag without looking into the bag. Probability of getting a red ball. If you are supposed to find probability of red ball, the formula is favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. How many red ball are there? 4. How many total balls are in the bag? 4 by 6. 4 and 2, 6. So 2 to the 4, 2 to the 6. This is the probability of getting a red ball. Now what is the probability? Is it more or less than getting a yellow ball? So firstly, let's find probability of yellow ball. Yellow ball is 2 by 6. Right? Yellow ball are 2 in number, in total 6. So 1 by 3. Which one is greater? Denominator is same. So numerator 2 is greater. Probability of red ball is more. You have to choose one, more than getting a yellow ball. Okay, this is how you can solve. Similarly, one question can be asked in the form of wheel. You know, when we have written, we have names written on this wheel. Let's say A, B, C, D, B, and you are asked probability of getting B. So B is repeating 2 times, so 2 by 4. That is 1 by 2. This question can also be considered when you prepare for probability. Next, move to another topic. This is square and square roots. Some of the concepts you should know, that let's say I'm asking you square of 2, it is 4. But when I ask square root of 4, this is the sign of square root, that will be square root of 2 into 2. So doublet becomes a singlet, so 2 is the answer. And this 4 is a perfect square because it is formed by having pairs. So if it is asked, can we say whether the following numbers are perfect numbers? Are these perfect squares? We have to find out. See, 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25, 6 square is 36, 7 square is 49, 8 square is 64, 9 square is 9 9 is 81, 10 square is 100. You can say, even if I'm asking you 11 square, right? But it will be multiplied as 11 into 11. So unit digit is also 1, is always 1. For 12 square, unit digit will always be 4, right? So this is how you can remember the unit digit. You can find out the unit digit. You can say that no one in this list is having 7, 3, 8 as unit digits in their numbers, right? So 7, 8, these cannot be a perfect square, correct? Now, which of the following numbers would have 6 at unit digit? So here 9 9s are 81, it will be having 1 as unit digit. 4 4s are 16, it has 6 as unit digit. 6 6 are 36, but 6 will be in unit digit. Yes, it is also right. 6 6 are 36, this is also right. 4 4 are 16, this is also right. Only 19 is odd one out. Okay, this is not the answer. Move on. You have to find out square of which number is odd and which one is even. Obviously, if you have 2 square, it is 4. If you have 3 square, it is 9. If you have 5 square, it is 25. If you have 7 square, 49. If you have 4 square, it is 16. So what is there? Square of even digit is even, square of odd digit is odd. So square of which number? You don't need to multiply 727 with 727 to just answer this. It is 7 7s are 49. Always give you odd number. Odd number will give you odd. So this is odd. this is even, this is odd, and this is even. We have to find out square without multiplication. If I would have asked, just find the square, I would have done this. But without multiplication, then what I can write? I need to find out 39 square. So that means 39 to 39, right? Can I write it as 40 minus 1 into 40 minus 1? Correct? Now distribute. This 40 will be multiplied with 40 minus 1, and this minus 1 will be multiplied with 40 minus 1. So 4 4s are 1600, 40 ones are 40, minus 40, minus minus plus 1 ones are 1. So 1600 minus 40 and 40, 80 plus 1. So 1601 minus 80, right? So this is like terms, 1600 plus 1, 1601 minus 80, 10 minus 8, 2, 5, 1521 is the answer. Clear? We have to find out the next topic is Pythagorean triplet. So see, we know Pythagoras theorem is hypotenuse, perpendicular, base. One right angle is given to us, a right angle triangle. Longest side opposite to this 90 degrees hypotenuse, and hypotenuse square is always perpendicular plus base square. All those numbers like sides, their triplet, for example 3, 5, 4. 5 5s are 25 is equals to 3 3s are 9 plus 4 4s are 16. So this is forming a Pythagorean triplet. So if three numbers follow Pythagoras theorem, that means they are forming Pythagorean triplet. We have to find out if one member is given as 12, find other two members. So the formula for that is 2m, m square minus 1, m square plus 1. One number is given to you. If it is even, always consider it as 2m. M becomes 12 by 2, 6. So next number will become 6 square minus 1, that is 36 minus 1, 35. And 6 square plus 1, 36 plus 1, 37. So these are two numbers. So the triplet becomes 12, 35, 37. Clear? This is how you can find. And if you apply, the longest side is 37 here. So 37 square will be 35 square plus 12 square. You can check that, okay? You don't need to check it in examination. It's just for your information that how you can relate Pythagorean triplet with Pythagoras theorem, okay? So here you are supposed to find out the square root. Now square root has two methods to perform. Either you can do prime factorization or long division. So in prime factorization, just find out the divisibility criteria and get the values. So 2 4s are 8, 2 8s are 16, 2 2s are 4, 2 2s are 4, 2 4s are 8, 2 1s are 2, 7 3s are 21, 7 3s are 21, 7 4s are 28, 7 3s are 21, then 7 4s are 28, 7 9s are 63, 7 7s are 49, 7 1s are 7. Because this 9604, the square root of it will become 2 into 2 into 7 into 7 into 7 into 7. Now this 2 will become unpaired when it comes out of square root. So 7 7s are 49, 2s are 98. It is the perfect square of 98. But when you apply long division, then you have to pair it from backwards and always read timetables in perfect square form. 2 2s are 4, 3 3s are 9, 4 4s are 16, which is greater of course from if compared with 12. So we will stick to 3 3s are 9. 12 minus 9 is 3. Decimal will be moved there and 25 will be taken forward. Now 3 3 plus karenge, if you add them it will be 6. You have to place some number here. Now remember the trick. If you multiply it with 2, if you put 2 here, you have to multiply with 2. 63 3s are, 64 4s are, 65 5s are, 5 5s are 25, 6 5 are 30. So this is 32. Hence, the square root of 12.25 is, this is nothing, 3.5. This is the answer. Okay. Similarly, another type of question may be asked as, is this particular number is a perfect square or not? So you have to check if it is having all the factors in all the prime factors as paired form or not. So 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2, 2 sevens are 14, 2 6 are 12, 2 fives are 10, 2 8s are 16, 2 8s are 16, 2 2s are 4, 2 4s are 2 9s are 18, 2 4s are 8, right? Then for 294, 2 1s are 2, 2 4s are 8, 2 7s are 14, 3 4s are 12, 3 9s are 27, 7 7s are 14, 7 7s are 49, 7 are 7. So if we say square root of 2352 is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, 3 into 7 into 7. So we can take out this 2, and this 7, but not 3. So if I want to make it a perfect square, which number I should be multiplying it with? Obviously 3. So the multiple will become 2352 multiplied 3. That means another 3 here. So which will become 2 into 2 into 7 into 3. So you can say 2 to the 4, 3 is 12, 7 is 84 will be the answer. Okay. Then question, it is the question asking for multiply. What should be multiplied? Similarly, question can be asked, what should be divided? What should be divided with? So whatever will be left unpaired, you have to divide it. Okay. Can you try it on your own? So if you have 9408 and you have to divide with a number which is restricting it to make a perfect square. So 2 4s are 8, 2 7s are 14, 2 4s are 8, 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6, 2 5s are 10, 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2, 2 1s are 2, 2 7s are 14, 2 6 are 12. Then you have 2 5s are 10, 2 8s are 16, 2 8s are 16. Now this 588 is here. Where? Here. Right? So you can see 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, 4 2, and then from 588 this 2 into 2 into 3 into 7 into 7, right? So this 3 is restricting it to make a perfect square. So divide it with 3. Then what will be left? 1 2 1 2 1 2 and 1 7. So 2 into 2 into 2 into 7, that will be your answer. 8 7 is 56 will be the square root of that particular number when it gets divided with 3. Okay. Moving on to the next point. So here you are asked in another form that you have to form a square number, but that should be divisible by all these 3. So when it comes all these 3, you have to take LCM of them. 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9, 3 5s are 15, 2 1s are 2, 3 1s are 3, and 5 1s are 5. So that means the number is the LCM, that is 3 into 2 into 3 into 5. So 3 2s are 6, 3s are 18, 5s are 90. But of course, we can see this is not a perfect square. How can we make it a perfect square? By multiplying it with, yes, so 3 is paired. So we need 1, 2 and 1, 5. So that is 900 is the number, and if you take the square root, it will be 30, right? How 30? Because these 3 will make it 1, 3, these 2 3s, and then 2 2s will be 1 2, and 2 5s will be 1 5 after coming out of square root, right? Okay. Then so far we have considered those questions when what should be multiplied, what should be divided to make a perfect square. Now what should be added and what should be subtracted is also the matter of discussion. Here is the question on it. 2025 plants are to be planted in a garden in such a way that each row contains as many plants as the number of rows. So if you say first row, it will be having 1 plant. 2 rows, second row will be having 2 plants. Third row, 3 plants. So If I'm assuming let the number of rows be x, so how many plants? X. So total plants will be x into x, just like we have square area of square. It should be 2025, but x square is 2025 means it should be a perfect square. So let's see. You have to make a pair from backside. Then 4 fours are 16, 25. 4 and 4, 8. You have to place something here. Let's try 5 because unit digit is 5 here. 5 5s are 25, 8 5s are 42. Yes. So 45 plants. 45 rows will be there and 45 plants will be planted. Okay. This is how you can find out the answer. Now here gardener has to plant 1000 plants, but in such a way that number of rows and columns, let's say 3 rows are here, 3 columns must be here, rows and columns should be same. So let me assume that number of rows which is equal to number of columns be x. That means total plants x into x, that should be 1000. But 1000 is obviously not a perfect square because it has 3 zeros, right? So we have to find out what number of plants we will be requiring more. That means what should be added to make it a perfect square, right? So let's do long division. 3 3s are 9, 2 zeros, 3 and 3 6, 61 times 1 is 61, 10 minus 1 9, 9 minus 6 3. Now you can clearly see that 31 square, 1000 is greater than 31 square. So 31 square is a perfect square, but 1000 has some more number in it which is not making it perfect square. If I would have asked that what should be subtracted to make it a perfect square, I would say 39. But question is asking what should be added. So if 31 square is incomplete, 31 square is complete but 39 plants are left. Next perfect square is 32 square. 32 square is 1024. So 1000 plants he already have. How many more plants does he need to make it a perfect square? 1024 minus 1000, which he already have. 24 plants he needs more so as to make a perfect square. That means equal rows, equal columns. Okay. Now in next question, 500 children are there in the school. PT drill is going to happen, but in such a manner that number of rows are equal to columns. Again, let's say x square should be 500. So, but 500 is also not a perfect square because see, square root of 100 is 10, which is a perfect square, but 5 is not a perfect square. So, how many children would be left out? You know, when this coverage will be okay, 2 rows, 2 columns, how many will be there which will be left out? So, for that, again, find out the perfect square. 2 2s are 4, 2 and 2 4, and then you can have 43 will be more. 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. 10 minus 4 6, 9 minus 8 1. So these 16 are just destroying the arrangement, right? These 16 are extra. Otherwise it would have been 22 square complete 484 plants. But these 16 are left out with this arrangement. Okay? This is how you can do these questions of addition and subtraction. Okay? Question may be asked directly, what should be added, what should be subtracted, or in this form. You have to be ready for both of the types. Let's see another thing. Here in a right triangle ABC, which is right angled at AB is given as 6, BC is given as 8. You have to find out AC. So when out of 3 sides in a right angle triangle, 2 sides are given, you can apply what? Pythagoras theorem. So I told you Pythagoras theorem in the beginning of these slides when we were discussing about Pythagorean triplet. What it is? Hypotenuse square is equals to perpendicular square plus base square. Hypotenuse is the longest side opposite to 90-degree angle. We don't know it. But perpendicular we know and base we know. 6 is a 36, 8 is a 64. So AC becomes square root of 100, which is of course 10. Don't forget to apply units. This is A part. Now for B part, what is given to us is AC, again the same triangle, but AC is given and BC is given. We have to find out AB. Hypotenuse is given, perpendicular not given, base given. So perpendicular square will be 13 square minus 5 square. 169 minus 25, that is 144. If you take the square root of 144, it is 12. At least you should know the squares and their roots up till 20. Okay, this is how you can do it. Let's move on to the next topic. Next chapter is cube and cube roots. So just like we did in square root, square means 2. You were supposed to make pairs there. But in cubes, you have to make triplets, okay? So if you want to check which is a perfect cube, which is not, you have to simply take the LCM. 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2, 2 5s are 10, 2 2s are 4, 2 5s are 10, 5 5s are 25, 5 1s are 5. So 400, the cube root of 400 will be, the sign of cube root is this, okay? So cube root will be, write the factors, 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 5 into 5. So these 3 2 can form 1 2. Rest all are not forming any triplet, right? So it is not a perfect cube. Similarly, you can find out for other. Okay, let me give you, if you see 8 is 2 4s are 8, 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2. So it is the cube of 8 is the cube of 2, correct? And 1000 is the cube of 10, so it will become 20. Again, we have to find out 392 whether it is a perfect cube or not. Take the LCM. 2 1s are 2, 2 9s are 18, 2 6s are 12, 2 9s are 18, 2 8s are 16, 2 4s are 8, 2 9s are 18, 7 7s are 49, 7 1s are 7. Please make sure you don't apply long division in this method to find out cube and cube root, because long division is not applied here. It is not for cube and cube roots, okay? So now 392 is 2 into 2 into 2 into 7 into 7. Clearly 7 is not forming a triplet, so it is not a perfect cube. So answer for first is no. So if not, find the smallest natural number which should be multiplied. What should be multiplied? Obviously 7, because if as soon as we multiply it with 7, we get a perfect number, perfect cube. How? So then this will become into 7 cube root, and if you remove this cube root, this 2 will become, these 3 2 will become 1 2 and 7, so it is the cube of 14. The cube root of 3921 is 14. Clear? Again, you have to find out it is a perfect cube or not. Then what should be divided? So whatever number will be left without forming a triplet, you should be dividing it with that number, okay? So how we will do that? Let's take the LCM. 5 3 2 4 0. 2 2s are 4, 2 6s are 12, 2 6s are 12, 2 1 2 2s are 4, 2 6s are 12, 2 6s are 12, 2 2s are 4 0. 2 1s are 2, 2 3s are 6, 2 3s are 6, 2 1s are 2 2 0. This is clearly 11 cube. Two 5s are 10, 5 1s are 5. So you can see that only 11 is making a triplet, and 2 is making a triplet, but 5 is not. So it is not a perfect cube. But what should be divided then? Obviously 5 3 2 4 0, if it is 2 into 2 into 2, 11 into 11 into 11 into 5, this is restricting it from making a cube, a perfect cube. So let's divide 53240 by 2, sorry, by 5. So 53240 by 5, and if you have to find out this cube root, so 5 will be removed, only 2 into 2 into 2, 11 into 11 into 11 will be left, because 5 gets cancelled with 5, so cube root will be 2 into 11, that is 22. You have to find out the prime by prime factorization, the cube root of 13824. Again, take the LCM. 2 6 are 12, 2 9 are 18, 2 1 are 2, 2 2 are 4, 2 3 are 6, 2 4 are 8, 2 5 are 10, 2 6 are 12, 2 1 are 2, 2 7 are 14, 2 2 are 4, 2 8 are 16, 12 ones are, okay, let's not do it with 2, directly 12, because then it will not be, what? A prime number, prime factorization, right? So 2 8s are 16, 2 6 are 12, 2 4s are 8, 2 4s are 8, 2 8s are 16, 2 2s are 4, 2 2s are 4, 2 4s are 8, 2 1s are 2, right? 2 4s are 8, 2 3s are 2 4s are 8, 2 3s are 6 होना चाहिए था यहाँ. And then 2 2s are 4, 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2, 2 6 are 12, 2 1s are 2, 2 8s are 16, 2 5s are 10, 2 4s are 8, 2 2s are 4, 2 7s are 14, 3 9s are 27, 3 3s are 9, 3 1s are 3. So you can see these 3 2 will give it 1 2, then these 3 2 will give it 1 2, and these 3 2 will give it 1 2, and these 3 3 will give it 1 3. So cube root is 2 2s are 4, 2s are 8, 3s are 24. So 13824, the cube root of 13824 cube root is 24. Okay, this is how you can solve it. Next, the last chapter of this midterm, which is chapter 8, comparing quantities. Comparing quantities means how much has he got, how much marks has he got more than me, or what is the ratio of two things which two people are having. Okay, so these are when we compare those quantities. Some of the topics are deleted from this chapter, so we are covering the main concepts. Here, first question is 72% of 25 students. There are total 25 students. 72% are interested in mathematics. How many are not? So total percentage is of 100, right? So percentage of students who are not interested, how much it can be? It will be obviously 100 minus 72, that is 18%, right? 28% in fact. 8 into 10, 73, 10. So 28%. Now, because exact numbers we want, that question wants, so 28% of 25 will be 28 percentage. When you remove percentage, you have to divide it with 100. Of means multiply by 25. 25 4s are 100, 4 7s are 28. So 7 students do not like maths. Next, a football team won 10 matches out of the total number of matches. We don't know how many matches did they play in all. So let's say X. So 10 matches they won, and if the percentage was 40, so win percentage is 40%. But win percentage, how do we calculate it? The matches they won out of total, correct? So 10 matches of the total number. We always have 40% of total as 10 matches they won, right? So 40% means 40 by 100 of X is equals to 10. So 0 gets cancelled with 0. So here X becomes 10 into 10 by 4. 2 2s are 4, 2 5s are 10, 2 2 5s are 10, 25 matches they played in all. Okay. Now, if Shamili had rupees 600 left after spending 75% of her money, how much did she have in the beginning? See, this is spending, right? 75% is her spending. So that means 25% is her saving. And this 25% is nothing but 600. So 25% of total which she was having is 600, let's say total which she was having is x. So x becomes 600 multiply 100 by 25. 25 fours are 100, 6 fours are 24. So 24 rupees she was having in all in before spending money. Okay. Now the concept is about mark price. Whatever the listing is there on the object which is placed by the shopkeeper, that is mark price. After giving discount to the customer, that becomes selling price of that item. Okay. So an item marked as 840 rupees, that means this is the mark price. Sold for rupees 714, that means selling price is 714. We have to find out the discount. So it can clearly be seen that discount is what was listed and what it is sold for. So mark price minus selling price, that means 840 minus 714, 10 minus 4 6, 3 minus 2 3 minus 1 2, and then 8 minus 7. So this is what? This is basically the discount, correct? Now we have to find out discount percent. So discount is put on marked price. Discount upon marked price into 100 is the percentage. So 126 divided by 840 into 100. You can cancel it. 2 4s are 8, 2 2s are 4, 2 6 are 12, 2 3s are 6, 7 6 are 42, 7 9s are 63, 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9, and 2 5s are 10. So 5 3s are 15% is the discount which is given to the question. Okay. Is it which is given to the item, to the customer. Now list price of a frock is 220, that means it is clearly marked price. Discount percent is given to us 20%. We have to find out the discount and sale price. Always write what needs to be found out, what is given, so it gives more clarity. Okay. Now discount is of course, discount percent is of course discount on mark price into 100, right? So this imply discount is what? Discount percent multiply mark price by 100. That means 20 by 100 into 220. 0 is cancelled with 0. So this is rupees 44. Correct? So selling price is what? Mark price minus discount. That is 220 minus 44. 11 minus 4 is 7. Okay? Clear? This is how you calculate mark price, selling price, and discount and its percentage. Now here what is given to you? An almirah is sold at rupees 5225. Discount percent which was given for this selling price. Obviously discount is always on mark price, but mark price is not known. So how do we calculate? So we have to apply reverse engineering here. We know that mark price is selling price plus discount, right? Obviously you have mark price, you give discount to someone, then you get selling price. So if selling price is mark price minus discount, so mark price will become selling price plus discount. But now discount is what? Discount percent is discount on MP, right? So discount, if I have to find, this will be 5% of MP. You don't know what is MP, but MP is here. Selling price is 5225 plus discount, which is 5% of MP. Correct? Now take these like terms all together, right? So 100 minus, you can simply divide it, 5 to 10. So 20, if you take LCM, just like you solve in linear equations, 20 MP minus 1 MP is 19 MP, by 20 is 5225. So MP becomes 5225 multiplied 20 by 19. You can solve it, right? Divide this 19, if you do 5225 with 19, just bear with me, 5225 divide by 19, you get 275. And then when you multiply this 275 with 2, I'm using calculator just to do the calculation fast. 275 multiplied 2, that will give you 550. So this is 550 and then this 0. So this was the mark price earlier, 5500, and after 5% discount it was sold at 5225 rupees. Okay. Next question is, cost of pair of roller skates was 450. Cost was 450 and sales tax charged was 5%. Sales tax 5%. So how much it is actually? 5% of 450. 5 by 100 of 450. 0 gets cancelled with 0. 5 5 is 25, 5 4 is 20. Divide by 0, divide by 10, that is 22.5 rupees. Correct? So total amount, the bill amount will become whatever the cost was, and you have to include tax in it. So 450 plus 22.5, which will be 472.5. Here, Wahida bought an air cooler for rupees 3300, including a tax. This was price including tax. Okay, that means cost plus tax is 3300. Whatever the cost is plus tax is 3300. Okay, find the price of air cooler before VAT was added. So let's say cost is x, x plus 10% of x is 3300. Let the cost before tax be x. Okay, so cost plus tax, tax is on cost, so 10% of x is 3300. 0 gets cancelled with 0. LCM 10 was a 10 plus 1, 11x by 10, 3300. So x becomes, cross multiply 3300 into 10 by 11. 11 3s are 33. So 3000 rupees was the initial cost before tax was added. Okay. Now the question on simple interest and compound interest. You have to find the interest. It is not mentioned compounded annually. So if it is on simple interest, you have the principal amount with you, which is 15,000. Rate per annum is given 5%. Time is given 2 years. So simple interest is P into R into T upon 100. So P is 15,000, R is 5, time is 2 upon 100. 0 gets cancelled with 0. 15, 5 2s are 10, so 2 zeros. 1500 is the simple interest for 2 years. So amount will be principal plus simple interest, that is 15,000 plus 1500. So 16,500 rupees. Clear? Now compound interest on a sum of rupees 8,000 for 2.5 years. Very, very important. When time is given to you 2.5 years, that is 2 is to half, correct? And principal is 8,000. Rate of interest is 5% and compounded annually. So you have to apply formula for amount P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to power T. But you have to distribute this time for 2 years and half year. Okay. So here P is 8,000 into 1 plus R is 5 upon 100 raised to power T, which is 2 years first. So 8,000, 5 2s are 10, 0, 20 plus 1, 21. You have to take LCM, okay? 21s are 20 plus 1, 21 by 20 square. So let me change the color of the pen. 8,000 into 21 by 20 into 21 by 20. 0, 0, 2 zeros cancel, 2 2s are 4, 2s are 8. 21 square is 441, 2s are, 2 1s are 2, 4 2s are 8, 4 2s are 8. So rupees 8820 is the amount for 2 years. Now half year is left. So for next year, the principal for third year, since the beginning, will become 8820. Rate is 5%, but now time is left as half year. Correct? So simple interest becomes P into R into T. For half year, you don't use this formula. So P is 8820 into R is 5%, T is half 100. 0 gets cancelled with 0. 5 2s are 10. 2 4s are 8, 2 4s are 8, 2 1s are 2. So 441 by 2. That is 2 to the 4, 2 to the 4, 2 5s are 10. 220.5 is for half year. So total amount becomes principal plus simple interest. So 8820 plus 220.5, that is 0 4 10 9040. Clear? This is how you'd solve it. Now the last question of population and depreciation type. So in 1997, population of a city was 20,000. It increased at the rate of 5% per annum every year. You have to find out the year 2000 population. So year 2000. From 1997 to 2000, how many years? 3 years. Again apply this sort of formula, but now the population, the current population will become the original one, that is 20,000, 1 plus R, because it is increasing, so plus, otherwise minus. 5 by 100, R by T, R by 100 raised power T. 5 1s are 5, 5 2s are 10. 20,000 multiply 21 by 20 cube. Now you have to solve it. 20,000 into 21 by 20. Let me do it here. 20,000 into 21 by 20, 21 by 20 and 21 by 20. So these 3 zeros will be cancelled with 3 zeros. 2 tens are, 2 fives are. This will be 441. Then 21 fives are. 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10. 105. Multiply it. 5 ones are 5, 5 fours are 20, 5 fours are 20, 22. 0 and then 1 4 4. 50364. So 46305 by 2. No, not rupees, it is population. So 2 twos are. You have to try it on your own because population cannot be in decimals. So maybe 1 plus R upon 100. 5 is a 5, 5 2 is a 10, 20 plus 1, 21 by 20. So let me solve it using calculator, just bear with me. So it becomes 20,000 multiply 21 into 21 into 21, which is, and then divide by, just bear with me, 20,000 multiply 21 21 21 divide by 2 to the 4 to the 8,000. So it will be 23, that is fine, 23,152.5. So you have to take the approximate value. Okay, then you have a machinery worth rupees 10,500. This is the worth depreciated, that means rate is decreasing day by day. You have to find out the decreasing rate is 5%. This is decreasing and time is 2 years. This is the original value, you can say P naught, main value. So the formula is what? Final value, yani after depreciation, will be P naught into 1 minus, because it is depreciation. So 10,500, 1 minus R, which is 5 by 100, is to power 2. 5 is a 5, 5 2 is a 10. 10,500, 20, you have to cross, take LCM. 20 ones are 20 minus 1, 19 by 20 whole square. So 10,500 multiply 19 into 19 divide by 20 into 20, right? So these two zeros get cancelled with these two. So you've got 105 multiply 19 multiply 19, that is 37905 divided by 4, and you can divide it, so you will get 9476.25, right? So this is how you can solve these questions. I'm hoping that you are clear with your concepts, and if so, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Till my next video, take care of yourself. All the best for your exams. Bye bye.